Welcome to Lost Souls Diaries, where the supernatural merges with secrets of the past. Prepare to enter a universe of mysteries and terrors that defy logic and disturb the soul. Today, I bring you the enigmatic story of the Forgotten Asylum, a forsaken place filled with pain and horrors long lost to time. In this video, you will be transported to dusty corridors, deserted rooms, and gloomy memories, where every whisper and every shadow reveals the hidden terrors of a tragic past. If you seek intense experiences that ignite your imagination and send shivers down your spine, this journey is for you. Over the next few minutes, we will unveil the secrets of an asylum that holds stories of suffering, abuse, and macabre experiments, echoes of ancient screams that still resonate. I invite you to immerse yourself in every detail of this dark narrative. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video, so that together we may explore the darkest recesses of existence. As we move forward on this dark journey, it is essential to understand the context surrounding the Forgotten Asylum. Located in a remote region, this abandoned building was erected decades ago, with the promise of providing shelter for those in need of special care. However, what began as a refuge for the marginalized quickly transformed into a stage for unimaginable horrors. Its walls, now worn by time, bear the scars of a past marked by abuse, cruel experiments, and injustices that transcend the limits of humanity. At its peak, the asylum was a place where inhuman methods were employed in the name of science. Disturbing accounts of painful treatments and dehumanizing procedures spread among the locals, creating an atmosphere of fear and suspicion. Gradually, the screams of patients and the laments of witnesses became urban legends, stories that still echo in the silent nights. Even after its closure, the echoes of these horrors remain, as if the souls of those who suffered there are destined to wander its dark corridors forever. Every corner of this building bears traces of an era when pain and anguish reigned. Old photographs, yellowed documents, and testimonies from former employees form a disturbing mosaic that reveals the true extent of the suffering endured here. The Forgotten Asylum is not merely a physical space, but a symbol of injustice and human misery, inviting those who dare to explore its deepest recesses to confront the demons that still haunt its shadows. After absorbing this dark context, I began my search for the asylum, guided solely by ancient accounts and faded maps that promised to reveal the location of this cursed building. On a grey afternoon, when the sky seemed to weigh heavily upon the earth, I caught sight of the desolate silhouette of the asylum in the distance, shrouded in an aura of abandonment and sorrow. As I approached, an increasing sense of unease gripped me with every step on the cracked ground, littered with dry leaves, as if the very earth whispered tales of pain. The facade displayed remnants of a cruel era, broken windows, doors that creaked in the wind, and walls draped in moss, silent witnesses to a past filled with suffering. The sight of this macabre scene evoked in me a mixture of fascination and repulsion, accompanied by a shiver running down my spine. Determined to unveil its hidden secrets, I pushed open the heavy iron door that groaned like a warning and stepped into an interior engulfed in shadows, illuminated only by the faint glimmer seeping through the cracks. The humid air, heavy with the stench of mold and decay, intensified the feeling that every nook of this place was haunted by echoes of a tormented past. I walked slowly through the corridors, where the creaking wooden floors and the distant sound of my footsteps composed a mournful symphony. Old photographs hung haphazardly, revealing faces that seemed to plead for justice, and abandoned dust-covered furniture silently recounted the story of lives lost here. In one room that appeared to have once served as a medical office, rusted equipment and scattered papers hinted at dark experiments, each object a fragment of a larger, tragic enigma. As I ventured deeper into the corridors, the environment transformed into a palpable manifestation of accumulated terror. The silence, once merely unsettling, evolved into an almost deafening shroud, interrupted only by indistinct murmurs that seemed to emanate from the very walls. The darkness thickened, and every step I took resonated not only on the worn floors, but deep within my soul. Slowly, I began to perceive that the phenomena were intensifying. Shadows, that moved with a hypnotic cadence, as if dancing in a macabre ballet. At times, fleeting figures emerged, brief glimpses of former patients whose expressions were etched with pain, anguish, and lost hope, as if pleading for liberation from a tragic fate. Each apparition carried a fragment of the asylum's history, revealing secrets that time stubbornly tried to bury. As I pressed on, the temperature dropped drastically and the air grew dense with an inexplicable energy. Whispers and murmurs merged with the silence, fragments of confessions and laments that seemed to seep from the walls, heightening my fear and accelerating the pounding of my heart. On several occasions, as I peered through cracked doorways, I glimpsed outlines moving swiftly, as if restless spirits were wandering in search of redemption or vengeance. It was in this climate of growing paranoia that I encountered a room that once functioned as a medical office. There, rusted equipment and scattered papers revealed clues of cruel experiments and inhumane practices, each object narrating part of a tragic enigma. The darkness seemed to come alive. The moss-covered, cracked walls whispered long-buried secrets while time appeared to stand still, stretching each moment into a vortex of fear and fascination. I felt as if I was being dragged into an abyss of despair, where every shadow and every whisper served as a reminder of lives marred by tragedy. This escalation of mystery transformed my perception, leaving me on the brink of understanding and, simultaneously, of madness, as the horrors of the asylum revealed themselves in their rawest, most devastating form. With my heart pounding and determination etched into every gesture, I resolved to confront the terrors that haunted this place. Gathering every ounce of courage, I made my way to a room filled with relics of the past. Piles of yellowed documents, forgotten diaries, and faded photographs testifying to the pain and abuse inflicted here. Every page I turned unveiled disturbing accounts from former staff and patients, silent voices of cruel experiments and dehumanizing treatments. As I delved into these accounts, echoes of screams and laments invaded my mind, transforming whispers into intense outcries, as if the spirits of those who suffered demanded justice. Shadows contorted on the walls, accompanying each new revelation, and the atmosphere grew even more oppressive, almost tangible in its anguish. In a desperate bid to break the cycle of suffering, I organized the evidence I had gathered and decided to perform a confrontation ritual inspired by the methods described in the diaries. In an ancient hall, illuminated solely by trembling candles, I recited archaic words with the hope of liberating the trapped souls and unveiling the truth behind the malevolence. At the height of the ritual, the asylum responded devastatingly. Spectral figures materialized, and the silent screams echoed throughout the space, bringing forth a revelation that shook my very existence. The truth emerged forcefully. This place was not merely a stage for horrors, but a field for experimentation by a dark force that fed on human suffering. Confronting these manifestations meant facing not only the ghosts of the past, but the very essence of evil that permeated every corner of the asylum. Accepting this reality, I realized that the battle for redemption and the liberation of the lost souls had only just begun, and that the price to pay would be steep. As the night deepened, the silence of the asylum seemed to seal the final cries of a tormented past. In that frigid atmosphere, it became clear that, although I had revealed some of the hidden horrors, many secrets still remain imprisoned in the shadows of this place. Every room, every corridor, and every abandoned object whisper stories of pain, cruel experiments, and souls that never found rest. The forgotten asylum is more than a desolate building. It has transformed into a monument to injustice and human misery, where the memory of those who suffered echoes eternally. As I left this repository of tragedies, I carried with me the certainty that the search for truth is endless and that the echoes of these horrors will continue to haunt me. If you are fascinated by the mysteries of the unknown and wish to explore the darkest corners of the past, subscribe to Lost Souls Diaries, like, comment, and share this video. Thank you for joining me on this journey, and may the secrets of the forgotten asylum continue to challenge our understanding until the next revelation.